Trustees Board meeting, October the 6th, 2025 meeting is now called to order. And we have roll call, Mrs. Wilson.
President Ragland, we have, We have a full board present. We have Trustee DeVries she's virtual this evening. She does plan to vote, so we'll want to do a roll call vote for the items.
Thank you. And as our custom, we stand for and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will have good news by Jason Wickenberg.
Thank you very much, President Ragland, members of the board, and Superintendent Hoover, for good news this evening to start our meeting. We had an episode of What's Happening with Dr. Hoover post recently, and this time we were able to feature our high school marching bands. You know, recently we had done one on fall sports and what it takes to get ready for that. This is so similar. These students work so hard, and there's so many people involved with this. And just when you talk to these students and putting this video together, almost everyone talked about the family atmosphere and how vital it is for them to be a part of this family. So really was great. Dr. Hoover got to record her introduction during Bosse High School's practice, where she at one time spent a year in the marching band, so that was kind of interesting. So yeah, just a great thing to be able to highlight for these students and all of their families that are so supportive of this activity. We were able to post quite a few pictures of the renovations that continue moving along at Fenway Stadium, at Bosse High School, and at the Bowl at Wrights High School. When you look through these pictures, it really is, it's just so impressive to see the work being done and how it is going to take these historic structures and maintain them for future generations of fans and members of our community. And just in chatting with Mr. Scheller, he would tell you that these projects have gone very well and are on schedule. So really liked having the opportunity to be able to share this with the communities, especially fans who attend games and other activities in both of these locations, so that they can see the progress being made. For the fourth year in a row, Choir Palooza took place. This happens at University of Evansville. These pictures happen to be of our middle school choir students. They get to actually go to U of E, spend a day on campus working with vocal music technicians and experts and specialists who are really working with them. I believe the day after this, our high school choir members were able to go on campus and spend the day. But just a great partnership between us and the University of Evansville. Certainly great for our students to get to be on campus and get to learn from these music specialists. Rock Your School Day, last but not least. This was Friday. Several of our schools had a lot of exciting activities planned for Rock Your School Day. These pictures took place at McCutcheonville Elementary, and then also at Highland Elementary. I'll lift Highland for a second. They really did some interesting things because they included, to really honor that feeder pattern, they had Central High School come down and their band was playing as students were arriving at school, and they had members of their leadership group, athletes and other students who were there greeting the students, and then they had other activities going on. You can see the Central Bear mascot is there, the cheerleaders, but really a great way. We love when we see our schools working together with that elementary or the middle or the high school to really honor that feeder pattern, because we know these elementary students go home and they're excited talking about what's happening and how they got to meet people at Central High School, and it's neat for the older students to come back to their schools as well. So that really was exciting. And President Ragland, that is it for good news.
Thank you very much. Fun in our schools. It is now time for public comment, and Mr. Childers.
Thank you, President Ragland. As we introduced this topic at the last board meeting, it is now known as A Few Minutes with Larry.
Yes. Am I famous or infamous?
Famous. Yeah. Continuing on with Mr. Whittenberg's family theme, I want to mention the Burkhart family at Bosse High School, what all they've done for Bosse. Father Shane Burkhart, head coach for the last 15 years, has established Bosse as a boys basketball powerhouse. has won sectionals, regional, semi-state, developed Division I players. He's also mentored several area head coaches, which most people don't think about or know about, but I'll name you 5 tonight. Lamar Brown, head boys coach at Princeton. These coaches at one time were an assistant under Shane Burkhart at Bossy. Jason Roach, head coach North Boys. They both won sectionals. Mark Rohr, he started at Southridge. He won a sectional there. He's now moved to Gibson Southern, head boys coach. He's won a sectional also at Gibson Southern. Kyle Brasher, head girls coach, Gibson Southern. He won a state title 2 years ago. Coach number 5, Bo Burkhart, Shane's son, played basketball for Bossy, went to college, played basketball, returned as an assistant coach under his father. Last spring was appointed the head coach at Washington. As a side note to that, his wife was appointed the head volleyball coach. So several coaches mentored under Shane Burkhart. Kathy Ferris, AD at Central, she got her start at Bossy as a coach, but her areas were track and soccer, but I'm sure she got some advice from Coach Burkhart along the way. His daughter Sydney, most people don't think about her or know about her, but in 2013 she was an outstanding volleyball player at Bossy. That year Bossy had 2 outstanding hitters and the outstanding setter. She was the outstanding setter. In volleyball, the setter is like a quarterback in football. They call the plays. They have to make a good pass to the hitter to complete the spike. That year they won a sectional. Bossy wins the sectional 2013. That was historical, first sectional ever for an EVSC high school team. She later returned to Bossy as a coach for volleyball and was also a coach at Central Volleyball. One of her dad's comments about her said she never made a B in her life.
Thank you, Larry and President Ragland, out of all the speakers we have.
Thank you very much. We are now ready to move into consent items. Dr. Heber.
Good evening, President Ragland, members of the board. We have 4 consent items for your consideration tonight. They are 3.01, consideration of the minutes of the September 22nd, 2025 executive session regular board meeting. 3.02, consideration of the allowance of payment that include invoices, net payroll obligations for a total allowance of payments of $12,499,035.83. 3.03, consideration to approve the renewal agreement with CDWG for maintenance of the cooling system in the Technology Data Center. 3.04, consideration to approve the permanent easement to Verizon America, LLC regarding Wrights High School. These consent items are presented for your approval.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second have been made to accept the consent items. Are there any questions or discussion?
I have a question on 3.04. We are selling them an easement, and then we sell that to them, and then we'll get better reception in our schools.
We will get better reception at Wrights for sure,
Okay.
which is, I think, part of the, I think that'll be welcomed by the staff there. But I don't know, overall in that geographical area, maybe, but we're certain it will improve for Wrights.
So we're gonna make money and get better reception. Usually they make you pay for that. I just got a plan and I got my gigs. So that's a good thing. I like this.
Any other questions, discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor signify by aye.
Roll call.
I'm sorry.
We need to see Amy's face also. Legal.
Where'd she go? Uh-oh. She's not there.
I'm here.
Oh, I hear you, yeah. Oh, there we go. I think I see you. There we go.
We now have a roll call.
Oh, there she is, sorry. Okay. I will start with President Ragland.
Aye.
Vice President Duckworth.
Aye.
Trustee Keeper.
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Secretary Moore. Aye. And Trustee Gamblin.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, and
No.
goodness.
We're up there.
Trustee DeVries.
Aye.
Thank you.
That motion carries. We are now ready for consideration of personnel recommendations. Mr. Williams.
Good evening, President Ragland, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. Tonight's personnel recommendations include the following: resignations, termination, regular appointments, leave of absence, resignations from extra duty, appointments to extra duty, reassignments to extra duty, transfers, and after-school appointments. These recommendations are presented for your approval.
So moved.
A motion and a second have been made to accept the personnel recommendation. Are there any questions or discussion?
The termination, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. You had your hand up, Marty.
The resignations, section A, with the two teachers, when we see that, do they give you an explanation as to why?
And the termination, that's a no call, no show.
Correct.
Let me guess, cafeteria. It's notorious. I didn't have to look. I swear I didn't look.
Ms. Williams, I have one more question, if you don't mind. So when they are giving, of course, the reason, the explanation, are you keeping track of, if there's similar foundations as to the reason why, and then how it can go back and, I don't know if rectify would be the right answer, right? Because I know everyone will resign for whatever reason, but if there's a commonality regarding one, what is it that we can do? Because I hate to see teachers leave, right? But I know life happens and things happen. What can we do right, outside of making them stay, outside of pay and all the wonderful benefits?
Yeah, and sometimes that is it, that they're leaving for private sector roles that we're not going to be able to compete with.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they're leaving to move out of state, different scenarios like that we're not going to be able to control. But we are having those conversations and trying to establish what the common trends are across them, and working with different departments to see how we can correct.
Michelle, is it ever a situation where this is their first year teaching and you're done, man, this is a tough gig, and I don't think I can do it? Is that ever a situation?
Absolutely, yes.
Because I could see that happening.
Yeah, I will say, looking among this group, they are pretty different. It's not that I can look at these and say, this time it's all falling within one category, and that's not common either, that it would fall within one category. We kind of find that everybody's got their own reasons for looking. But yes, that is absolutely a scenario that we deal with.
And if I may, one more. So piggybacking off what Trustee Kiefer stated, especially with your very first year, just went through college, you're 21, 22, 23, in that young age range. How can we convey to them, right, that it's going to be tough, I'm sure. I'm not a teacher, but of course I've been a parent, which is totally different on the other side. But how do you convey that to them? Just stick in there, tough it out. How can we do that? Because again, I hate to see your first year teachers, especially if there's, money involved, there's student loans, things of that nature. How can we make sure that we're giving that information to them? Yes, it's going to be tough, but in the end, right?
Right. I do think some of what plays in is their experiences that they're placed in leading up to that first permanent assignment of their own. I do think that we have really built a coaching model that's different this year. I am probably not the best person to speak to that.
I mean, we assign new teachers coaching support, and I've seen coaches this year co-teaching with teachers, but teaching isn't easy, and every day, when you're responsible for that group of students every day, and you're learning new curriculum, and you're learning classroom management, and there's so much growth. I think the research says the first 3 years, but any teacher in this room can tell you it's not easy.
Hey, Michelle,
We do try to surround them with support.
I'm just curious, I heard this, how many of these they don't have to do their student teaching with us, right? Do we have a greater success rate of teachers staying if they've done their student teaching with us compared to a different school corporation and then coming to us,
We hire a much larger number of student teachers that did their experience with us. I think when it comes to first year, a lot of that too is when you're hired, if you were able to go through all of our support programs that we offer in the summer, versus being a late hire, if you are licensed appropriately, have you already obtained your license, are you working in an emergency permit, different scenarios like that I think are playing in. I don't know that I could speak specifically to that, but we definitely hire more people who have had their placement with us than not.
Thank you.
Questions, discussion? We're ready for roll call.
I will start with President Ragland.
Aye.
Vice President Duckworth.
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer.
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Secretary Moore,
Aye.
Trustee Gamblin, and Trustee DeVries.
Aye.
Thank you.
We are now ready to move into our district spotlight. Dr. Hoover.
A pre-K update for you. We have the principal of Culver Learning Center, Jennifer Harpinall, here, and we also have Counselor Hannah Cannon. We have other members of the team, but those two are going to give you an update.
All right, so thank you for having me, and we are doing great things at Culver. It's really exciting to see some changes that we've made. Real quick, just for an overview of Culver, we have 2 district programs at Culver, and one of them is a community preschool site, and then we have the Learning Center. The preschool consists of 4 inclusion classrooms. We have 3 special education only classrooms, 2 developmental preschool classrooms, and we serve approximately 150 students in the preschool world at Culver. The Learning Center is a behavior-based program that houses K through 8 students. We have about 40 students right now. We have a life skills classroom, and then 4 classrooms. We have a K1, a 2-3, and a 4-5, and then a 6-7-8 classroom. Some really good things that are happening at Culver. One of them is that we added a school counselor, and then we kind of revamped our school social worker to be whole school instead of just separating. We're really trying to become one Culver. So I have Hannah leading the pack on this, and she can explain a couple of these items.
Yeah, so we have started a PTO. We're working on getting our nonprofit status so that we'll be able to do some more things with that. Part of that is like our beginnings are like popcorn days. That's a big thing. Everybody loves popcorn.
Everybody loves popcorn.
Everybody loves popcorn. We have room parents, so that's parents signing up to volunteer in their children's classrooms. And then we're trying to do one community engagement event each month just to bring more families into our school. We have a clothing closet, which we do giving days twice a year for that, and that is open to the entire community.
Yes. Yep.
And then we, most excitingly, are starting a food pantry for all of our students. So we recognized a need within our preschool population specifically because they can't receive the backpack program through the food bank. So we are partnering with the food bank, Feed Evansville, and getting some grants to get that up and running. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, it is exciting. The academic piece of it, you know, we have created leadership teams both for the preschool side and then also for the Learning Center. And then we have a school-wide leadership team that we focus on, like Tier 1 supports, interventions, making sure those are all in place and going as needed with fidelity so that those students' scores can increase. And then preschool, we're implementing that curriculum. Students are enjoying the hands-on learning walks and different things throughout the school. And that is it. Please come join us. Please come visit us. I would love for you guys to come see us.
Thank you.
Thank you for all
Thank you very much for what you do and the love that you have for the community.
Yeah, it's
Especially that particular community and their family. So thank you very much. My youngest son was a product of Culver. We moved back to Evansville in the preschool, and his teacher's name, and I hope I can say the teacher's name, Miss Powers, but he had a very hard time saying P's, and he would call her Miss Bower, Miss Bower. And she worked with him, and she worked with him, and she worked with him, and that was probably one wonderful heart tug for me, you know, being a single parent and working with all 3 children at different levels in their education. But Miss Powers took the time out to truly help him, and that was actually the first teacher that recommended speech therapy for him. So I think when you have teachers that can identify and has that passion, you know, so thank you very much. Thank you.
And I'd just like to say, I have a peer that their son went through the Culver Learning Community. She has just speak glowingly of everything. So you guys are making a true difference. Thank you very much.
one of our big goals is, to make sure those students are ready to go on to their next educational journey, whether they're going to kindergarten, whether they're going back from TLC to their traditional schools. So it takes a village, but we've got a good village, so.
Appreciate you.
Jennifer, is this year 2 for you?
Year 2.
Yep, for me.
Yep.
Culver has a rich history. I mean, it goes way back. I went to Culver K through 5 and it's still standing, so that's a.
There you go. I mean.
But there's been a lot of things happen and changes in that school, and I think it's standing all the challenges, thanks to folks like you also. Thank you.
And I will add that my grandson attended Culver and thrived, and I was really amazed at the staff. And, I sat in Cape Town and I was just amazed at the supports that are there, and it's helped him to excel.
Good deal. Please come join us if you have time. We would love to have you.
For all you do.
Thank you.
We're now ready for our action items, and Dr. Carl Underwood, you have 601 through 603.
Thank you, President Ragland, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover. These next 2 items are resolutions that I'm bringing to you for approval because of our general obligation bond issuances. The first one is a master continuing disclosure undertaking. This is presented in connection with the issuance of our Evansville-Vanderburgh School Building Corporation First Tax Mortgage Bonds. This resolution authorizes the officers of the board to execute the undertaking and any necessary documents to proceed with delivery of the bonds in 2026. At this time, I recommend your approval.
Approval.
We have a motion and a second, have been made to approve the 12th supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking. That's correct, right? Are there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we're ready for roll call.
Okay. President Ragland.
Aye.
Vice President Duckworth.
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer.
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth. Secretary Moore.
Aye.
Trustee Gamblin.
Aye.
And Trustee DeVries.
Aye.
Thank you.
And that motion carries.
The second action item this evening is the consideration of the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures. The original procedures were adopted in 2014 and amended again in 2019. This resolution accepts and ratifies those amended procedures and directs their inclusion in our administrative manuals and authorizes the designated compliance officer, which is me, to adhere to them. At this time, I recommend your approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second have been made to approve the resolution of amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedure. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we are ready for roll call.
Okay. President Ragland.
Aye.
Vice President Duckworth.
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer.
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Secretary Moore.
Aye.
Trustee Gamblin.
Aye.
And Trustee DeVries.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that motion carries.
President Ragland, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover, Michelle Williams and I, along with members of the Evansville Teachers Association, are excited to announce that we have reached a tentative agreement and wanted to share just a few of the highlights of that with you this evening. This past Wednesday, we reached a tentative agreement, and in that agreement, the compensation for the next 2 years was agreed upon. I understand informational meetings are happening right now, and we will be coming back to you at the next meeting with an approval, but just for tonight is information. This guarantees our teachers a $2,000 increase each year for the next 2 years. Our salary ranges for 25 and 26, $46,500 up to $90,200, and the following year, $47,000 to $90,700. These are guaranteed base salary increases, which, as you know, around the state of Indiana is not something that's going to be very common. We were able to work that out and very excited to do so. These are recurring base salary increases. I'm just touching on a few of the highlights. We were also able to work out an agreement to increase sick leave buyback up from $70 to $100, and parental leave, 15 paid days for birth, adoption, and stillbirth. Additional compensation, this has been on as part of a negotiation topic for many cycles, extracurricular pay. We were able to increase that 10%, and then some adjusted stipend schedules with increases for a few specifics as well. And these were just our guiding principles. I want to say that this entire undertaking was very collaborative. It was the way a negotiation should work. There was give and take on both sides. And we were able to put this together with these guiding principles of sustainability, fairness, and flexibility. And given the pressures that public school corporations are under, I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish with this agreement.
You know, to me, the ultimate goal here is to recognize the importance of our employees. And I think with the hand we've been dealt, I think you've done exactly that. I appreciate that, and I hope that teachers and staff understand that we continue to look for ways that we can improve, you know, their pay scales down the road, and make sure that this is a organization that they feel proud to work for.
And we will have a vote after the agreement is...
It would be a public hearing at that time where testimony can be taken regarding the contract, and then we'll ask for your permission to accept.
Thank you very much.
President Ragland, if I may, real quick, Dr. Underwood and Ms. Williams, thank you very, very much. Even, of course, seeing the presentation again, you know me, I had to come up with just a couple of words. But I see leadership, relationship, communication, respect, value, and worth. So thank you. Thank you all very much. And again, thank you to the teachers. I know it's not easy, but this right here, what we're seeing, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We're ready to move into information. 0.1, Rick Cameron.
Good evening, President Ragland, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. During the 2025 legislative session, House Enrolled Act 1001 significantly revised the Teacher Appreciation Grant, the TAG program, including changes to the funding model and distribution requirements. Policy 3540 no longer aligns with these changes and is no longer required either. Therefore, the Office of the Chief of Staff recommends that the board rescind Policy 3540 to ensure alignment with current law and state guidance. EVSC will continue to participate in the TAG program. However, a board policy is no longer required by IDOE to do so. Bring this as to you as information tonight, and be happy to answer any questions. We'll bring this back next board meeting for action.
What will our options be? Can you tell us? Because this is the 20% deal, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit, but what are different options that might be available? I'm just curious.
We've talked about a lot of options. IDOE has issued their guidance, and we're looking at IDOE's guidance on what TAG will be moving forward. So there are options for the 3 tiers, options for 3 tiers.
There's an option for 3 tiers. There will be a set amount of money that is really based on the lowest tier is $3,500. If we can give that to more teachers if we use the $3,500 than if we use the second tier, which is $5,000, or the third tier, which is $7,500. So I imagine a collaborative process with our teachers, and certainly with ETA, if they want to be part of that discussion, we would welcome that, because it is difficult to say this can only go to a maximum of 20% of teachers. So we'll have to make decisions on not only the criteria, but even things like, is it 20% of teachers across the whole district? Is it 20% within a building? Like, there are decisions that will have to be made, and then we have to get that approved by the state.
Thank you.
Any other questions, discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm now ready for 7.02.
Thank you again, President Ragland. Members of the board, Dr. Hoover, want to share with you tonight the proposed school calendar for the 2026-27 school year. So with this calendar, of course, it has 180 days of instruction, really looks very similar to the current calendar that we're on. One thing that was able to happen with this one, because of when Memorial Day falls in 2027 on the last day of May, we were able to push the entire calendar back a week, which I think people will appreciate. That was like just a little more time before school starts in the summer. This does include the soft start. We always get a lot of feedback on that, which is very positive. Also includes week-long fall break, as we've been doing now for a few years, also very positive. Of course, spring break, 3 built-in potential makeup days for inclement weather, and then just as we're doing this year, 2 staff development days, one in the first semester, one in the second semester, and those we're able to accomplish because of our asynchronous options that come from the state of Indiana. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Just 2 months and a half of this year, and it's over.
It does look funny seeing 2026-27 school year, yes.
Thank you very much. We're now ready for 7.03, Michelle Williams.
Good evening, President Ragland, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. Tonight, I'm presenting information to you on the renewal of our employee dental insurance with dental health options by Health Resources. After a market review, we have found HRI's proposal provides the least disruption to our network and plan design while keeping rates in line with benchmarks. We are recommending a 2-year agreement effective January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2027. The agreement includes a 10.5% rate increase, which the district will fully absorb through higher employer contributions for 2026, resulting in no increase to the employee rates. Rates are guaranteed for the full contract period, and this adjustment follows several years of very low increases. Dental insurance continues to support employee health and well-being. The overall cost increase to the district is $162,221, funded through the operations fund. Tonight, I present this as information. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
On to 7.04.
All right, tonight I am also presenting information on a proposal to engage NFP for compensation consulting. This project will allow us to review and refine the district's compensation structure through job data collection, market benchmarking, and the development of a framework that supports consistent and sustainable compensation practices across the organization. NFP will also work with HR and district leaders to provide tools and guidance that promote clear, consistent decision-making with attention to maintaining a responsible use of district resources. Several of our community partners in the Evansville area have engaged NFP for these same services, giving them valuable expertise and familiarity within our region. The total project cost is $49,500, funded through the operations fund. I present this as information and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. We're now ready to move into 7.05, 7.06, and 7.07. Dr. Underwood, well, and 7.09.
Thank you, President Ragland, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover. Tonight, I'm bringing to you as information a recommendation to move our finance and HR systems from Regional Data Services, our current provider, to Boyce. As you remember, we started this transition just a few years ago as we were moving to Power School. We halted that and have remained with our current provider. Given that time, we've researched and are making our recommendation now to go to Boyce System, which is a recommended or a recognized leader in Indiana in finance and HR software, with over 150 public school systems already adopted by Boyce. This will increase our capacity to do our work in HR and finance business office, and recommending the approval for next time. Happy to answer any questions you might have. We're one of the few remaining customers of our current provider, and this move is definitely needed.
And this platform is more advanced or up to date?
Yes, it is, very much so.
I have a question. In Ray of training, at $75,000, is that training at your discretion whenever you think that some of your people under your work?
It is. It's some canned training for the enrollment process, and then as we need it as well.
Thank you. Is there a capacity for it as far as how many people can sign up?
What's great about this transition is it is more flexible than the one that we undertook a couple of years ago, and they are converting several of our current providers right now, and so they understand our current system, so we'll be able to provide that support much better.
Thank you.
For just the month-end financial items, I have August for you this evening. So as of August 31st, we've expended 67.09% of the education fund budget, leaving a balance of $42,861,856.30. For the operations fund, we've expended 59.77% of the budget, leaving a balance of $27,354,682.90. Summary of cash balances. These are provided for the debt service, education, exempt debt service, and operations funds. Expenditure ledger summary report. This is a breakdown of expenditures by function and object code. And finally, the revenue summary report. This is a list of revenue as of August 31st for the education, operations, debt service, and exempt debt service funds. Happy to answer any questions about those. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now ready to move into continued business. Dr. Hoover and school board members.
I can start. I would like to thank again all the members of the negotiating teams, both for the Teamster contracts and the agreement with our teachers. I think to be at this place in early October is a great place to be, and I do agree. I wasn't in the room, but just hearing the conversation, I do think it was a collaborative effort, and I think that's really important for both groups to come together in that way. So really proud of our team and just grateful for everyone who was involved. The second thing for me just to share is I was able to accompany a group of leaders from Evansville to Harlem to visit the Harlem Children's Zone. And it came about because we're part of the Evansville Promise neighborhood, and so we went on a learning trip. Really right now, we're in the middle of that $30 million grant that will go through March of 28, but we wanted to go to learn about sustainability. We wanted to learn what they're doing, but also to have some conversations with how they're financing that. And so it was very cool to see, like, their mission is to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty. And they have a sort of a cradle to career approach, really ramps up at age 3 and continues with very heavy involvement with families and students until they graduate from college. And so, that it's kind of the model program for the other Promise neighborhoods to kind of look to. It really started back in the 1970s with a truancy prevention program and after-school programming. And then in the 2000s, it ramped up to be, we're going to concentrate on this one block in Harlem and see what we can do for the students who live in this one block. And now it's over 100 blocks of students and families that they're providing support for. So it was I think an inspiring trip for sure. The mayor went with us. We had the Wellborn Foundation, U of E, United Way, Cook Enterprises, Evansville Regional Business Committee. President was with us, Centerpoint, and Toyota. So a big group went, and I think all of us left with new ideas and just excited for possibilities for Evansville.
Very good. Anything else? Anyone?
I have something. Last week, the PTAs hit a milestone. with their book giveaway. And as to date, there has been given $252,000 worth of toys, learning toys and books to children in every school that has a first and second and on down. Thank you to all of you who really helped, particularly Kim McWilliams, Annie Owen, Steve Scheller, Dr. Hoover, Janet Hollingsworth, and many, many more. All of these PTA presidents pitched in and helped out. They came and got books. We hit the milestone with one of our schools, Highland. They took, I think, $4,000 worth of stuff to their back to school bash or something. I can't remember what they called it, but they took these learning toys, and it's really enhanced the children's learning. I've heard just great stories, and it's helped build our PTAs. And I want you to know that the PTAs are the largest child advocacy group in the United States. They are a powerful, powerful tool that EVSC, we really need to use them better, because these people really, really love their schools, and they really, really love children. And they have done things for children that they don't even know. And I just can't thank PTAs enough for all their support. It takes money, their money, everything about them. They've really risen to the occasion. And God bless you if you're a PTA member. Thank you very much for all that you do.
I wanted to acknowledge the artwork of Mr. Gary's, so if you look at that on your way out. And I don't know if we have any visiting students in the audience. Maybe studying on Franklin Street. But I leave with you a quote by Eric Partaker, and I thought his last name was interesting for the quote. It says, "Your greatest skill isn't on your resume, it is how you show up every day. Be the person who makes things easier, not harder." And if there's nothing else to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.